In this video, we're going to cover how to send an eBlast from the Real Geeks CRM and how to use the Real Geeks workflow drip system. So first, let's take a look at sending an eBlast. Let's say you have a new listing coming up in Lanikai and you want to share the news with your leads. The first thing you're going to want to do is log into your CRM and create an advanced search. So let's filter the lead list to display only full leads, then click on the Advanced Search button. Since the new listing is located in Lanikai, you'll want to set the filter to Property Location, Includes Lanikai, then click on Add Filter. Now with the new filter we added, this list has been reduced. Now if the new advanced filter leaves you with a list of 300 or more leads, you can create another filter to reduce the list further, such as Last Active Date is within the last 30 days. To add this filter, click on the green button that says Add Filter. But again, because this list contains enough leads, we won't add that additional filter at this time. Next, let's name the advanced search we created. We'll call this Location Lanikai. Now you can send this list an eBlast about your new listing coming up that's not yet on the market. So select your leads and then click on the button at the top here that says Actions and select eBlast from the dropdown. At the top of the screen, you can see how many leads you have currently checked in comparison to how many are in the current search. You can choose to send this eBlast to leads that are checked, or you can choose to send this eBlast to all the leads in the current search. Let's select All Leads in the Search. Next, you'll want to name your eBlast. Let's name this eBlast New Lanikai Listing. If you've already created an email in the system, you can pick a template here in the Drip Template dropdown. But in this case, we'll be creating a new email, so we won't select anything here. Next, you can set who the email is sent from. Let's click on Use Assigned Agent when assigned. Next, let's give the email a subject. Let's set the subject to Still Interested in Lanikai? Next, we have the body of the email you'll be sending to your leads. As you can see, there are already a few merge fields being used here, which can be placed in the email and when sent, will populate with, in this case, the lead's first name and the sender's signature. You can use merge fields in the subject of your email using this drop-down menu here, or in the body of your email using this drop-down here in the editor. There are a number of merge fields available to you which are associated with the lead and/or agent as indicated. For example, you could use the merge field titled Lead Average Property Price, which would populate with an average property price based on what the lead searched on your website. You could also use the merge field titled Lead Login Link, which would populate with a link that would allow the lead to log in directly to your website without needing to enter their username and password. You could also use agent name, email signature, and so on as needed throughout your messaging. So let's add a message to the body of this email. Hi, lead first name. Are you still interested in Lanikai? I have a new listing coming up in the neighborhood of Lanikai and wanted you to be the first to know about it before it hits the market. Please let me know if you would like to find out more details. Please contact me anytime on my cell at... Now let's select the merge field titled Agent Phone Number, and it will populate with the phone number of whomever the email is coming from. Signed, sender signature. This will also populate with the signature of the person who the email is set to come from. Here at the bottom, rather than just sending it out now, you can schedule a delivery date for this eBlast to be sent. Just click into the calendar icon. For example, let's say you want to send this eBlast out in a few days in the afternoon. You can easily set that criteria here, and the eBlast will be scheduled to go out on the date that you set. Next, you can send yourself a test email by entering your email address in the field below and clicking on Send Test Email. So let's do that and see that the message appears accurately. Looks great. The next step is to preview the email you are going to send by clicking on this green button here. In the next window, you'll want to review and confirm your eBlast message. Notice that the merge fields still appear as such, but when the eBlast is sent out, they will populate with the proper info from the data they are tied to. If you need to edit the eBlast, click on the back button to edit it. If you want to abandon the eBlast, click on the X in the top corner here. And if you're ready to send your eBlast off to your leads, just click on the green button that says Send eBlast. To preview the eBlast that was sent to your leads, click into the lead detail by clicking on their name. And under Activity History, you'll see the eBlast that was sent to that lead. And that's it. That's how you send an eBlast to your leads. Now let's take a look at using the Real Geeks Workflow Drip System. To access the Workflow Drip System, simply navigate to http://drip.realgeeks.com/again, or click on the 9-dot icon in the top navigation bar, and then click on Workflow Drip. So now we're in the Workflow Drip System. There are different sections within the system. Let's click through the navigation and take a look at each section. The first item listed in the navigation is Workflows. This lists the workflows you have created. There are columns within workflows that will allow you to monitor the performance of each workflow, such as the name, status. Note that a workflow remains in draft mode until you publish it. Steps in the workflow, leads tied to this workflow. This is actually a clickable link that you can click on to view all the leads subscribed to the workflow. You can also see the number of delivered, opens, clicks, unsubscribes, and so on, related to each workflow listed here. The next item listed in the navigation is emails. This section contains all the email templates created within your workflows or eBlasts. You can edit or create email templates from here. Next in the navigation is SMS. This section contains all the SMS templates created within your workflows. You can edit or create SMS templates from here. Next in the navigation is eBlasts. This section contains all the eBlasts that you had sent out from the CRM. You can view the statistics of the eBlasts that you sent out, such as how many opens and clicks an email to a lead had. Next in the navigation is Library. This section contains all the pre-made workflows available within the drip system that have been shared to us by other clients. You can view the different workflows available here or start using one of these workflows. Now let's review the system settings. In the section, you can enable office hours by checking the box here. You can apply those office hours to SMS and/or emails that you send out so that they are only sent during set hours based on the schedule below. To set your hours, select the appropriate time zone. Check the box next to the corresponding day of the week that your business is open, and set start and end times in the drop-down menu to follow. Once you've set your office hours, make sure to save those settings. Now let's learn how to use the library in the system. So we'll click on Library in the navigation. Again, this section contains all the pre-made workflows shared by other clients for you to use. Let's view the Real Geeks Seller Lead Drip Campaigns by Greg Harrelson workflow by clicking on View Workflow. Here we can see the number of steps in this workflow, the wait period before each step takes place, the type of step, in this case they are all emails, the template or title of the step, and in the final column we can view the details of each step in the workflow. Let's click on View Details to review step number 1. When someone signs up through the Home Valuation tool, they'll receive an autoresponder email. This step in the workflow is an email, and the system will wait 2 days before sending that out because the lead may reply to the autoresponder email first. You can continue to view the details of each workflow and decide if you want to use the workflow or not. Let's exit this view and then click on Use Workflow. What we've done is taken Greg's campaign and inserted it into our own drip system, so a workflow draft has been created. Now we can customize the workflow. You can rename the workflow if you want. In the section labeled Filter, you can automatically add a lead to this workflow by setting the following filters based on lead source. Now these are the lead sources that you set up yourself or default sources in the Real Geeks system. You can even filter this by assigned agent. For example, since this is a seller lead drip campaign workflow, in the lead source drop-down menu, let's check the boxes next to Website Property Valuation and Website Property Valuation Landing Page. We'll keep the assigned agent as Any Agent. Next, you'll want to review the details of every step in the workflow to customize it for you and your area. To review the content of each step in the workflow and make sure the library content applies to your business, click on Edit next to the template name. The Edit Email window will pop up, and you can then edit the email directly here. Fields marked with parentheses in each step need to be changed manually. Let's take a look at the options that activate each step in the workflow. When you have a new lead that matches your filter, the system will follow the flow and criteria of each step. So each step has a wait time. You can set the workflow to wait any number of days, minutes, hours, and so on before it takes action. Now actions describe each step in the workflow, which include sending an email, an SMS, or setting a follow-up task. If email is selected in the Action drop-down menu, then Template will list all the email templates saved in the system. This includes those you've created in the drip system and eBlast section, as well as email templates in our library. What appears in the Template drop-down will correspond to what you've selected in the Action menu. Templates can be categorized by selecting a template, then clicking Edit in the drop-down menu. The Edit Email window will pop up, and you can edit the existing category or add a new one in the field labeled Category. If you don't choose a category, then the template will be listed as uncategorized. Let's exit the Edit Email window. Next, we have a button that says New. This allows you to add a new template. In this case, if we click it, it will create a new email. And when saved, it will override the email that was in the step prior. You can do the same for SMS messages as well, if SMS was selected in the Action drop-down menu. To delete a step in the workflow, simply click the X button here. You can move the workflow actions around by hovering over the cross symbol here and rearranging each action in the order that you prefer. Now let's add a new SMS step to the workflow. So let's click on the green button that says Add Step. The page will scroll to the bottom, and you'll see the new step highlighted in green. Click into the step and set the wait time to 0 days. Let's set the action to SMS. And in the template field, we can choose a template or create a new one. Let's click on New to create a new SMS template. Here we see the new SMS template window. Let's name this Active on Website Follow-up SMS. Then let's create a new category called Follow-up SMS Message. Then enter your new SMS template in the field labeled Body. Again, you can use merge fields here. So how's about Hi lead first name? Ready to start looking at houses or just browsing for now? You are on my website, www.hawaiis.com. Signed, Agent Name. Now, we recommend less than 140 characters for your SMS templates, because some carriers break it into multiple texts if there are more than 140 characters. Just keep an eye on the character count below the text field here. Next, you can send yourself a test SMS. And if it looks good to go, then save your template. Now let's add a new follow-up step to the workflow. So let's click on the green button that says Add Step. Let's set the wait time to 20 minutes. Set the action to follow-up. And now you can select a purpose, which could be a phone call, BombBomb, email, meeting, other, or text. The title of this step is already set as follow-up, but you can change it by simply clicking into the field and editing it directly here. So let's replace the title so it says, Reach out about seller valuation. If you want to add any other details to follow-up, you can click on Details and add some notes here. Next, you can assign the task to the assigned agent, VA, or assistant. Keep in mind that when a VA or assistant has a task assigned to a particular lead in this workflow, then they can see that lead and all of their information. Now, if you want your agents to complete this follow-up before the next action is taken, then check the pause box here. When the pause box is checked, the subscription for a lead to this workflow will pause until the task is completed in the CRM. Once marked as complete in the CRM and not deleted, the workflow will continue on to the next step. Now keep in mind that a workflow is not published until you click Publish at the bottom of the page. So if you've reviewed all your templates and have added all the new steps you want to this workflow and it's ready to go, then click Publish. And if you ever want to edit a live workflow, click on Workflows in the navigation, find the workflow you want to edit, and click the blue Edit button. The system will display the current live workflow version. And if you click Edit once more, you can edit the workflow, click Publish, and your changes will be saved to the original workflow. Lastly, let's take a look at some advanced items in the system. In the CRM, you can manually add a lead to a workflow by clicking on the lead, and in the follow-up sidebar, if you click on Workflow Drip, you can select the campaign you want to add the lead to, then click Add. You can just as easily remove a lead from the workflow or unsubscribe the lead from all current subscriptions and omit them from all future workflows in eBlast by clicking on the Opt-out button here. If we go back to the Workflow Drip system, another cool feature is the ability to duplicate a campaign. So let's click on a workflow, then click on Duplicate. And what this does is it creates a copy of your campaign which you can filter in various ways and edit for a new list of leads. That's because when you duplicate a campaign, you duplicate the workflow, but not the lead list. And lastly, when editing a follow-up in a live and existing workflow, let's say you want to change the purpose from call to email. You have the ability to choose to update all active leads in the workflow or just new leads going forward. That way, if you choose to update only new leads, then scheduled follow-ups that were created prior won't be changed. And that's it. That's how you use the Real Geeks Workflow Drip system. As always, please check out our docs at docs.realgeeks.com to edit and add other page styles in greater detail, as well as setting up individual pages, sidebars, navigations, upload images, widgets, videos, along with all scripts and best practices to follow, and all other technical features for your Real Geeks website. To learn more about our products and services, you can always visit the Real Geeks website at www.realgeeks.com. And to sign up for one of our weekly walkthroughs where we cover the Lead Manager, our Facebook Ads Manager, and the Real Geeks websites, visit www.realgeeks.com/walkthroughs. For further tips on best practices and lead follow-up, watch any of our Keeping It Real episodes at www.keepingitreal.com to hear thoughts and ideas from Jeff and other real estate professionals on how you can take your business to the next level.